going through a new series about the incarnation. That's the subject, the incarnation of Christ. Whenever you talk about the incarnation, you're talking about God humbling himself to become Jesus, giving himself away, his glory, his divine power and rights, to become a man, to walk this earth, to feel the pains that we feel, to hurt like we hurt, to experience life like we experience life. And so Christmas is a celebration of this incarnation, this self-giving, this giving away. You have to ask yourself the question, if this celebration is all about giving away, what's up with us buying everything? Is Christmas too consumeristic? What do you think? Is Christmas too consumeristic? Well, here's some statistics, some figures on how consumeristic Christmas is. And you can see how consumeristic it is based on our spending at Christmas. And this is from 2008. In 2008, Christmas spending from the beginning of December to January to December 25th or 24th, actually, Christmas spending was $28.2 billion in retail sales. I mean, think about that. That's all the money that was spent at Christmas time. You could take it and start your own country. That's a 40% jump from all the sales throughout the year. If you look at department stores, 14% of their total sales out of the whole year are made at Christmas time. $24 billion was spent during Christmas time for home shopping and internet shopping. Now, I don't know about the home shopping thing. Some of that stuff is just ridiculous. Like, what's the dude? ShamWow. That's just, I sham won't. And you got to think about this. These are the statistics for 2008. December. That's when we hit this economic crisis. This is when we're at our worst, and we still spend this much at Christmas. And the projection for 2009, this is for cards and packages, that we'll spend $16 billion sending cards and packages. $16 billion. There's another country. Is Christmas too consumeristic? Now, from these statistics, and I got this from Census, the U.S. Census website, from these statistics, I would conclude, yeah, Christmas is consumeristic. And I wouldn't even need these statistics. I would just see, like, man, we just go kind of nuts, kind of lose our minds at Christmas. We go into debt at Christmas. But there's a Vineyard pastor. His name is Jeff Heitkamp, and he wrote a blog post saying that Christmas is not consumeristic. And his reasoning was this: the rest of the year, you spend money on yourself. All the lattes and the frappuccinos and the iTunes and the iPods, and you're spending all this on yourself. He says, at least we have a holiday where you actually give to somebody else. Now, he kind of swayed me with that one. So I want you to ask yourself, keep that question in the air. Is Christmas too consumeristic? I want you to be thinking about this all along, and we're going to explore that. And the thing is, it's up to you to decide that and how you live and how you operate during this season. And I asked the question on Facebook. I said, how has God gifted you to be a blessing to others? And I got some very interesting responses. Most of the responses, they were all Christian, and so they gave me a lot of spiritual answers. You know how we could be. You know, but I like Kim Casey's response. She said, God has gifted me with vision, and it's usually for other people. I can never use it on myself. God has a sense of humor. And not only does God have a sense of humor, but God is very wise. See, this holiday that we celebrate is almost like a mandatory thing. Even if you don't believe in Jesus or any of this stuff, you kind of have to give people gifts. You have to give. People kind of look at you like, what's your problem? You have to give. But this holiday is in tune with the way we're actually wired, and it has something to do with what Kim Casey said. We're wired not to hoard things to ourselves, but to give and to be a blessing to others. It's the way we're supposed to work. That's why Christmas resonates with us. We're supposed to do this. It's how we're wired and how we're created, not to just receive, but to give. We're blessed to be a blessing. And I want to talk to you today about how God has blessed us to be a blessing, and how this holiday season, I want it to be a reminder to you throughout the rest of this time and next year to live your life as a blessing to others. Did you know you're a blessing to others? Not just the things that you can buy. You're a blessing. I want you to turn to the person next to you and tell them you're a blessing. Even if you just had a fight with them, tell them you're a blessing. You're a blessing to others. Whoops. That wouldn't have been a blessing if I would have fell. You're a blessing to others, because sometimes being a blessing is all in just if you show up. Sometimes showing up is a blessing. You know, sometimes I'm preaching, and if there's nobody at least in the second row, I can't get motivated. So just showing up, Emily, Dan, Serena, it's a blessing to me. We're blessed to be a blessing, not just in what we can give materially, but what we can give spiritually, what we can give physically. Just your very presence is a blessing to other people. Sometimes we kind of go to small group and we think, they'll miss me there. Small group, sometimes it's just good that you show up, because I guarantee when you show up, the things you say, the smile you give, you may not even participate in the discussion, but just to some of the small group leaders, if you just sit there and smile, that's a blessing. That's a small group leader right there. Amen. Come on.